we want to make a data table. And from that data, correct? Okay. So when we make a data table, Excel is usually the easiest one to use. So you open up Excel. And with Excel, we want to leave the first block blank, especially if we're going to graph something. So let's say this was Pasteur's experiment. So for Pasteur's experiment, we're going to use, let's say, 5 flasks. So we'll do flask A. So look up here while we do it, then you'll be able to go back later and do your own. And we'll have flask B. I'm just changing the names of those ones that I copied. C, D, and what do you want to name the last one? Just get crazy. Sure, we'll do E then. Okay. So we got the names of all our flasks in there. Now we're going to put in, what did our data look like? So one of the things that he would have reported was days left sealed, right? He would have left them sealed for a certain number of days. And what was the most he left them sealed for? Right, 360 so let's say for a year he left them. Good. And maybe for the first one, he didn't leave sealed at all, so 0 days. And maybe he left other ones sealed for a day or a week, and maybe a month. So this is days left sealed. All right, what's another thing he would have wanted to report? Good. Is there any growth while it was sealed? Growth while sealed. So growth while sealed. So was there any growth for the first one while it was sealed? No. How about for the second one? No, there was no growth there either. What about that third one? Any growth? No. Fourth one, was there any growth? But the fifth one, was there any growth? No, because while it was sealed, nothing grew. Now, when was there growth? Yeah, days until growth after neck was removed. So how many days did it take for A to grow? Remember, we're making this up based off what he did. So how many days did it take? 2. Okay, good. So this one but took 3 days. How much for this one? Oh, it took a day for C. But for D, it took how many? 7 days? That's weird. And for E, remember, was 4. When I say remember, I mean we just made it up. Because remember, we're making this data up based off what he did and what we know his results were. So now do I have a data table? But I haven't got it into my Word, so this is really important to watch. We're going to highlight that whole thing, and we're going to copy it. So copy it, you can press Command-C or right-click it and press Copy. And I go back to my Word document. I'm going to paste it. So Command-V or just paste it. Did I get a data table into my thing? Anyone? Yeah. Now look up here. I don't like the way this looks. It's kind of messy and it doesn't really look very organized. What could I add to make it look better? Good. Grid lines. So I'm going to highlight my whole chart. Highlight my chart, right-click in it, and I'm going to go to Table Properties. So you should watch up here because you're not going to be able to see this later. Table, I'm going to go to Borders and Shading. And I'm going to add Grid. I like grids. Okay. Oh, look, now I have grid lines. But I still don't, I feel like it's too crowded, especially up here. So maybe I can just resize my chart. Oh, I like that much better. Does this look like an organized way to report your data? Do I have all the data that I really want?
Could you do the lines again?
So there we go. Looks good. Any questions? Want to do the lines again? Let me remove everything I did. That's why I said look up here. So look up here. So like I said, I don't like the way this looks. So I'm going to highlight my chart. I'm going to right click on it. Go to my table properties. Go to my borders and shading. Click grid. Okay, okay, there they are. Now I got to resize it again. Now remember your data, you're still going to talk a little bit about your data. Okay, maybe do some statistics like what was the average until the stuff grew. Now let's go back to Excel to get the actual chart. So I went back to Excel. Look up here because I'm not going to repeat this. So I'm going to go through this and you're going to have to do it on your own. It's not me walking you through it. So this is my data. Now let's see if I just add a line graph. So I go to charts, I hit column. No, I don't really want a column. Instead, maybe I want a line. Yeah, I like the line better. Right, highlight that, hit line, line. Oh, that gives me a chart, but look, you can't really tell anything from it because something's messing it up. What's messing it up? What's the thing that's really messing this up? Is that the days left sealed is such a huge number that it takes over the whole chart. Now, I already have a data table back here that tells me Flask A had 0 days left sealed. I've already identified that. Do I need to have that in my chart, in my line graph? No, probably not. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this one, and then I'm going to highlight this column. I'm going to delete that column. Now let's make this again. So I highlight it all, hit line, line. Oh, that one looks a lot better. I like this one better. If this is too small for you and you want to move your chart, if you right click in the center of it, you click move chart, move it to a new sheet, and there you go. Does this look better? Like a graph you would want to use? Yes. But I don't have a data table or access descriptors, do I? Axis. So what's my y-axis? What's my x-axis? So look up here. I can go to chart layout. I can click axis titles. Let's do the horizontal one first. So I'm going to go title below axis, and I'm going to fill in the title. So what is the title of the x-axis? Yes, it's flasks. Now I want to do one for the y-axis, so I go to axis titles, vertical, and this one gives me some options. I think I'm going to do just the horizontal title. And it gives me that, and then what is this axis? Days, because that makes the most sense. Now here's a problem with this chart though. One of these is days, but what's the other one? The other one's growth, right? Does this really make sense to have, growth is just how much growth there was. So these really shouldn't be on the same, or, so you could either make two separate ones, or you could, there's a way to graph both of them on the same, but I'll let you discover that. Okay. Nice. Super. So now I have a chart, but it's not in my Word document. I could right click it, hit copy, and go to my Word document. Hit right click and hit paste or Control V. Oh, look, my chart's there. That's nice, isn't it?
It was under analysis.
According to the descriptor, it does. So, is this a perfect chart? No, because I still have to fix this issue. And there's a couple different ways you could do that. You could make two separate graphs. You could change the way this graph looks. Okay? And then that's it. So the analysis, and then remember, an analysis is when you're going to talk about averages and that kind of stuff.